Do you think that the reason why there's so much anxiety nowadays is because of the internet?
A lot of it, yeah. I think a lot of it, yeah. I think we aren't naturally programmed to have so much information accessed in us in a day. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Minds in Neutral.
Hi, guys.
Hi. How are you, Shad?
I'm good.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
it's been a busy week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same here. I've been in my finals week. Well, next week is like Monday.
yeah.
I'm having my first final, and then I have a final on Thursday, and I'm done with the semester. It
Yeah.
sucks though because everyone finished way earlier. Like everyone always gets so shocked when it's like, "How are you doing uni in July or like June?" I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, guys. It's a bit of a struggle here. But like a lot of my friends, they like came to Dubai, and they finished in May, which is so crazy.
That's crazy.
And the uni next to mine finished in like April, May.
So then why?
Because like our program is so condensed. So
Okay.
like it's more moving forward. I don't know. Like next year I should finish by April.
Okay.
And then I'll be done with my degree.
Oh my God.
And I'll be a graduate. I'll be with my little bachelor's degree hitting the road.
Damn.
Literally,
Okay,
get
girl.
it? Mine's in
Yeah.
your hand. I expected more reaction, but it's okay. Anyway, how are things like I already asked you, but like besides that, how's crocheting? You sent me a snap the other day of you crocheting.
Oh,
just
yeah.
a little white thing. How's that going?
That day, I was trying to make, what was I trying to make? I think I was trying to make like a little duck,
No way.
but I failed miserably
Really? Why?
because the what's it called? The thread, not thread, the thing I was using.
The yarn?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
yarn I was using, it was very thin.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
very hard to like find the holes that you need to put in like your thing in and all of that stuff. So it was very hard to do it.
Was it
So
yarn for crocheting or
it
was it?
was,
Oh,
it was,
okay.
but it's the material of it was not good for the thing I was making.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was a fail. And then I was like, okay, why can't, like, let me try to make, like, why am I becoming too advanced at this? I'm not, yeah, I don't even know how to
Yeah.
do, like, the normal
A duck is a
stitching.
bit of a reach to
Yeah.
start off with.
So I was like, let me just do, like, what's the thing you put on top of a cup?
The coaster.
Under. Yeah, the coaster.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me do a coaster.
Okay.
And then that also failed. So I was
No
like,
way.
listen,
That's just a
Shahad.
circle.
Yeah, I didn't even do a circle. I tried to do a square because the
Oh,
circle is
okay.
harder to do.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But again, I think it was just the problem. The yarn I was using wasn't the type of yarn that you should be using to like do that certain stuff. So I was like, okay, let me just practice my stitching then.
Okay.
So I did that, and
Fair.
that's what I sent you.
Okay.
And it did improve because I took I have my old one, the first one I've ever done with the
Yeah.
stitches, and then the second one, and the second one looked way better than the first one. The first
Okay,
one looked like I had
good.
like scoliosis, but this one
Oh, no
was
way.
straight. Yeah.
Okay, that's cute. I really want to pick up a hobby this summer, like you,
Yeah.
something simple like that. Yeah, that sounds really fun. And I feel like it's so therapeutic because it's like you're concentrating on this one thing and it just
It stresses you out. Like,
but maybe once you get the hang of
Yeah.
it, yeah.
yeah.
I can see you like when you're 80 on a rocking chair and being like crocheting
Yeah.
for like your grandkids, little tops and bottoms. That's
so
actually so cute.
Yeah.
Like imagine crocheting little baby socks.
Aw.
Oh, that's so
That's
cute.
actually
That's actually so
adorable.
cute. Or like a little hat. That's so
Yeah.
cute. Or mittens. But yeah, I really want to do something like that. And I hope you continue on with it. I don't think you will in Egypt.
I don't know. I feel like I should in Egypt because that's when you find a lot of like bored times.
Oh yeah, like free time where you
Yeah.
wouldn't know what to do. Okay.
Exactly.
Maybe
So I'll
Wi-Fi
just
might cut out
Yeah.
at some point.
So I'll just practice my stitching, or I can, if I improve, I can do my own thing.
Do you watch videos or do you like look at pictures?
No, I watched the video.
Okay.
I tried looking at pictures, and there's this woman who had a blog, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Really?
Because like you don't see, you just see a picture, like a snapshot, and then her saying, oh, put this in the second hole of this. I'm like, where is the second hole? Which
yeah,
which one
yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah.
So no,
It's more
videos help.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's good though. I'm sure like at one point when you start like properly getting into it, it would like help you with like stress
Yeah.
and you would like calm yourself down, like especially in moments where everything's overwhelming, you just kind of like pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, like it's another like it's a healthy hobby to have.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's like, maybe like scientific research behind like why it's good for you and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
it helps with like your motor skills,
it
which generally
does
we have, but like, you could always improve that and
improve it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of stress and everything, we're both kind of going through a little bit of stressful moment. I
Yeah.
mean, different things. Like with me, it's my finals. With you, it's like packing and going and all of this stuff and like wrapping up, your last couple of days here. But how have you been coping with all of that?
I haven't been doing anything.
Oh, okay, that's another way to cope with it. Just like ignore it.
Just forget about it. It's like
Yeah,
future Shahad will deal with this, not me right
yeah,
now.
yeah. But
But
when is
yeah,
future Shahid gonna do with
girl,
it?
I have no idea because my mom was literally texting me. She's like, "Shahad, your room is a mess. You haven't packed anything. You
No
don't even know
way.
what clothes you're gonna take. I actually don't know anything. Like, I have no idea. Nothing is packed. I
Oh,
don't know what I'm taking with me. I don't know. I don't know anything. Like,
oh
it's just
no.
horrible." And I
Okay.
told her, I was like, "Don't worry, mom. Like, when I come, I'll figure it out."
Yeah,
Because the current Shahad right now, why am I stressing about it?
yeah.
Future Shahad will.
When do you leave? Which
Uh,
day in the week?
I think Saturday.
Oh, okay, so you have some time.
Yeah, I have a week.
Yeah, okay. Not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad. Okay, cool. Well, for me, I don't know how I've been dealing with it. I feel like I just kind of like whenever I'm in this situation where I'm stressed about uni, I just kind of force myself to do it.
Mhm.
Like I go through a moment where I'm super procrastinated. I can't pick anything up. I don't like I can't be bothered. But then I just kind of like I'm like, okay, let's just like get over it and just get it out of the way. Like I always think about one thing that I always do whenever I'm like studying is like just imagine you walking yourself out of that room and then being like, oh, I'm done with this class. I don't have to deal with it anymore. Like
Mhm.
that's something that I always think about. Or like just imagine like a week from now, you're gonna be so relaxed. Like
Yeah.
all of this is gonna be out of your mind. You're gonna be like eating, chilling, like scrolling on TikTok, working, whatever, like enjoying your time. You're
Yeah.
not gonna be thinking about like books and studies for a while as well. Like especially because we're coming up to wrapping this year.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like my way. But one thing that I saw on TikTok where it was this girl, it was this like older lady and she was talking about how indicators of if you have high cortisol level.
Mhm.
So cortisol is like the stress hormone in your body that
Yeah.
it can be good if you have it because it could keep your adrenaline up and you can be like
Fight
on a
and flight and all of that stuff.
yeah,
You
which
need
you
it.
still
Yeah.
need that. But then sometimes I feel like because of everything, you can have too much of it and you can get so whisked up into things. And she was showing like certain examples of if you have high cortisol, which is like, for example, you'd be getting your work done every 2 seconds, you would pick up your phone. And that's
Mhm.
such a bad habit that I have where like anytime I get a notification, I'm just like immediately picking it up. I want to see what people are doing. Or another example of it is like, for example, you're doing a task, but you're like, you have so many other things going on in the background. And
Mhm.
that's something that I do where, for example, I don't know if you do that, but when I'm editing, I like to watch something on the side, which is
Yeah.
so no, but don't you feel like that's so like when you put it into perspective, you're like, why are you doing that? Because like I should be listening to this
Yeah.
audio. I should be fully, fully immersed in it. But like I can't. So I like have a little show on the side or a little YouTube video on the
Yeah.
side. So it's like everything that I do comes in pairs. I can never just like get myself to focus on one thing. I just feel like my
Yeah.
brain works in a way where it's like 50 things have to be happening at the same time for it to work.
Yeah.
And I noticed also like I don't work the greatest in very peaceful
Yeah.
environments. Like when
Yeah.
it's super dead silent, it's so hard for me to work. I need some background noise, just
Mhm.
something. But I don't work good with music. So like I
Mhm.
don't listen to music or like those type like I like background noise where it's like I can feel my house is moving.
Yeah.
I can hear my mom in the kitchen, my sister like on her phone or something like that. Like I can feel people around me. But solo in my zone, that's kind of
Yeah.
hard for me to like work with. And I feel like that, if anything, stresses me out, which I don't think is the correct thing.
Mhm.
Because I don't think that's like in your nature to have so much noise around you. And
Yeah.
like that's how you should
And you
focus.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel because like our lives have become so busy and like I don't know, everything is so fast paced and you get whisked up into a lot of things and like I don't know how to say this in a day you get pulled into so many conversations with so many different people. Like I get pulled in a conversation with you over text, with my friend over call, with my mom in person, with another friend where I'm studying something with them. So it's just like I realized how much um like I can't just like be still.
Mhm.
And I think that overall like leads to burnout because you should let yourself be still.
Yeah.
Like it's not healthy to be like this, to be on a go, go, go. Like at some point you need to calm yourself down. And I feel like at one point it's gonna catch up to me. Like when I'm 40 or 50, where I'm like, I physically cannot do this anymore. Like I overworked my brain to a point where like, halas, I
Yeah.
reached zero. I reached zero. I can't do it. So like I think it's so important to learn how to deal with all of this. But my issue is like, what's the correct way?
Mhm.
And then like you also have to think about it where it's like everyone has different methods. Like
Yeah.
everyone's a different person. So like one thing that I don't like though is that anytime like certain people that I talk to where I explain like, oh, this is what I'm stressed about, one, two, three, they make me feel like, oh, this is so little.
Mm.
This is so nothing.
Yeah, I get you.
You know?
Yeah, I hate when people do that, or like when they tell you their problem and they make it seem that their problem is bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Because the way I think about it, especially with emotions, no matter what situation caused you to have that emotion itself is a universal feeling that everyone feels.
Yeah.
If you feel sad, it's the same way I feel sad. It doesn't matter what situation made you feel sad.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, oh my God, my nail got chipped, and the other one is like, oh my God, I failed an exam.
Yeah.
But whatever situation it was, it made you feel the same exact emotion, which is sadness.
That's so
So you
true.
shouldn't be comparing the experiences beforehand. You
Mm.
should be telling each other, no, oh, I understand how you feel because I feel the same way.
Yeah, maybe I don't understand the scenario
Yeah,
because we're feeling like we are in different situations, different circumstances,
yeah,
but it triggered the same thing within us. Like the same chemical reaction that happened in
happened.
your body
Yeah,
happened in mine as well. So like I feel you in that sense
yeah,
where like we're both upset about something. But I always catch like people whenever I talk to someone who's a bit older, they always tell me like, oh my God, this is like nothing. What you're going through is
yeah.
nothing. Like you're not ready for what's about to hit you. Like when you have kids, when work comes around, blah blah blah. And I really dislike hearing that because it just makes you feel like I cannot imagine a life further than where I am right now. This is my
Mm-hmm.
present. I'm not gonna think about like what's gonna stress me out 5 years from now because I'm not at that point in my life. Like
Yeah,
when that point comes around, I will stress about it. I will stress about those events. But what's the point of me being like, oh my God, there's no reason for me to be worried because I don't have a kid on me right now.
yeah.
I'm not thinking about like a kid is not even in my scope. I'm not even married for me to be even thinking about that being a possibility. That eventually will be, inshallah. But like
Inshallah.
I always get told like, oh, because I'm the youngest in the family. So I always get told like, oh, I know what you're going through is literally minuscule, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I hate how much like a lot of the times our problems get so diminished
Mm-hmm.
and dismissed where it's like, move on,
Yeah.
move on, move on, move on. Okay, I can only move on for so much. Move on and then what? Like, but I'm still living in
In
my
the same
present.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but then when I go back and I think about it, like now that I'm in uni, I think about the things that like was drama in high school and that consumed my time so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that was really irrelevant. But now that I'm at this point in my life, I can tell myself that.
Yeah.
And I can reflect and be like, yeah, that was irrelevant. But I
Yeah.
can't tell myself that for something that I still haven't even seen or experienced yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
find myself actually doing that with my sisters sometimes too.
Oh,
Especially
okay.
when they be like, "Oh my God, high school is so stressful." I'm like, "Girl, like
You're not
just
ready.
wait and see
Yeah.
uni." Like I tell them like, "Girl, live your life here like then, like now because honestly, after like it will be hard."
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, "No, we can't because like we're in this exactly what you said." Like they
Yeah.
even told me that to my face before. It's like, "Shahad, listen, like I know you've taken that step forward and you've moved on from high school, but we're still in high school.
Mm.
We haven't moved on to see it from your perspective.
Yeah.
We're still in our perspective, and there's no way we'll get to your perspective until we reach, where you are right now."
Yeah, that's so true.
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of valid. So I kind of stopped like telling them, oh, like don't worry about it, like whatever. But I would try to always tell them like, listen, try to enjoy it while it lasts. Like,
Yeah.
I'd bring it in a sense of like, no, like the stress is irrelevant, and I'll
Mm.
try to bring it more in like, you know what, like with the stress, at least try to enjoy what you have currently.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to see
It's
it.
really
Yeah,
hard. And like, I don't know if that's because naturally as a generation we've become so negative
yeah,
and we've just like a lot of the times I always again because you're the oldest, I'm the youngest, so different perspective. I always get told by my older siblings like you guys complain so much, like you as a generation you complain so much, you're so soft, you
yeah,
can't handle anything, you can't like go through anything. And although a part of that could be true because I have met people where I'm just like, there's no way that like you have a lot of things going for you and you still kind of like complain about, again, and I'm not trying to dismiss people's problems, but some people really have an advantage in life
Mm-hmm.
and they're naturally, mashallah, very blessed and they have a lot of things that they don't even appreciate and they take for granted, where I'm just like, why are you complaining? Like, there's
Yeah.
really nothing to complain about. But again, this is like what they know. So it's like if they lose something from what they know, they're like, oh my God, my life is like coming to an end. Like, I physically
Yeah.
can't do it anymore, whatever. But like, do you think we have become really soft? Do you think we are really soft? Or do you think this is just because like this is just the new generation, and because with our new generation so many things have changed,
Mm-hmm.
that we've changed the program for a lot of things, that like people are just like, I don't know, just confused about us, because a lot of people feel like Gen Z is like, oh my God, like this is a whole, this needs like a lot
Yeah.
of research and like a whole essay about
Thesis
us.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, that's the best word, a thesis, because it's just like, how can we possibly understand this group of people? But in my mind, I'm just like, I think we're just a little bit confused.
Honestly, like I'm gonna compare like myself to my sisters, for example, because my sisters are younger than me and I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So I kind of understand your like older sisters' perspectives too sometimes, because I see my sisters and I see them complain and I'm like, bro, when I was your age, I didn't even deep stuff like
Yeah,
that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and I'm like, girl, like, are you serious? Like, sometimes I genuinely get mad at them with the amount of stuff they complain about.
Mm.
And I'm like, girl, wallah, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like, and I just want to understand, like, why? Why are they thinking about stuff in such depth for no reason?
Mm.
And khalas, just go with the flow, just do it. Because that's how I was kind of brought up, like, I just did it.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if that would be like a really good example to give, but like wearing the hijab, for example. Like my
Okay.
mom, she told me, "Oh, Shahad, you're becoming very close to having to wear the hijab." Um, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll wear it."
Mm.
I didn't think about it. I really, really did not think about it. I wasn't like, "Oh my God," but people are gonna look at me,
Mm.
and and then everyone is gonna act weird. I was like, "Okay, fine, I guess so." Like,
Like
and I
this
just
is,
wore it.
yeah.
But my sisters, they're deeping it to the point where it's like, "Khalas,"
Mm.
they're like, but I don't even know if it suits my face, and like people are gonna be staring, and I don't want to get people's attention. Like hijab is meant to bring people, like, not make people give, like, not make you give, oh my God,
Not make you not have attention on you,
on
but
you,
the
but
opposite.
it would happen to me because I would be the girl wearing the hijab,
Yeah.
and I want to move schools because I don't want the people that I've been in school with to see me with the hijab because they saw me with my hair, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like I didn't even think this much.
guys,
Yeah.
what's going on? Calm
Yeah.
down a bit,
Yeah.
and like, khalas, it's fine, because again, it puts them in a place like where they start not wanting to wear it
Mm.
because of the questions,
Yeah.
because of the way they deep it. Like, truly, like, because if I deeped it that way, I wouldn't wear it. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
I get you.
Like, it
Yeah.
would be a struggle for me to wear it, and they're making it a struggle for themselves. They're bringing anxiety and stress on themselves
Yeah.
by just trying to question everything and trying to be like, but this, but that, and this and that. And I'm like, to be honest, this doesn't exist except in your head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, most of the stuff you're saying right now, it doesn't really exist in real life. You're just making up issues.
Yeah, but then again, like I feel like we will only think of what's inside our head. Because we're
Yeah.
selfish, and that's
Yeah.
all we know. I can never know your real thoughts. You can
Yeah.
never know my real thoughts, but like I can know in my head, like even if she wears it, for example, and no one looks at her weird, and no one
Yeah.
makes a comment, and no one does anything, she would walk around feeling confident, so it would almost, in a way, have people make her feel targeted.
Yeah.
Like people would target her because of her body language, the way she carries herself. They might be like, why is she acting so different? Like, okay, khalas, you put it on, and then what? And then, because of the way she acts and things, maybe people might, like, she might in a way give reasons for people to like talk.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But I think in that sense, because I always tell you this, Shahad, I always tell you this, the same age that you got introduced to TikTok and like all these social media things. Like let's say you got introduced to them because I properly got introduced to it when I was 16, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I actually had an account, whatever. TikTok, I think I was like 17 and a half or maybe 18. No, I was 17. Um, but that same age that you got introduced, you kind of established yourself. You already put on your hijab. You
Yeah.
already made your own personality. Yes, okay, we're still in a like age where we're shifting. We don't like have ourselves fully determined on like
Mm-hmm.
this is who I am 100% all the time. But like you have some sort of identity, right? But for them, they got introduced to it when they were what, like 10, 11,
Mm-hmm.
and they grew up on it. And they like, can you imagine how much content we consume on a day? Like in a day, I think like people watch, I need to actually get the number straight, but I saw this ridiculous number. And again, it was on TikTok, so I'm not too sure. But it was like in a day, you go through like 30,000 TikToks, which is crazy. Going through 30,000 pieces of content, each from like people from different parts of the world, from
Yeah.
different cultures, sometimes different languages. And like you would see people not like us,
Mm-hmm.
not all, and again it depends on the algorithm and the people that they're interested in. So maybe on their algorithms they're not seeing hijabi girls, they're not seeing a great representation of Islam, and maybe their only idea of hijab is you and your mom.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see other girls wear, or maybe the girls that they wear are still like newbies and they're still fresh to it, and they maybe haven't self discovered themselves wearing the hijab, because that's a whole journey in itself. But I think that also like affects them, because imagine the way it altered their brain. It made them so self-conscious, and like,
Yeah.
they've seen their friends be on TikToks. They've seen the hate comments that people could leave. They've seen how people could act they've been exposed to so much at such a young age.
Yeah.
Of course it'll make them overthink. Of course, like this is
So
how
then, do you think that the reason why there's so much anxiety nowadays is because of the internet?
a lot of it, yeah. I think a lot of it, yeah. I think we aren't naturally programmed to have so much information accessed in us in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think, of course we evolve and we can, adapt to these things, but I don't think this is in our nature. And I think that's why like what our body does is that it gets so overstimulated that it just like goes into attack mode or fight and flight mode, and it just wants to fight,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like, khalas, I've had enough consumption. Like I consume so much in a day. I listen to things, I watch things, I hear things, I
Mm-hmm.
talk about things. Like I can't. And then it burns out, and then it gets stressed out, and then becomes anxious. And then everything that you do, you just overthink times 10. So again, I'm not saying let's go back to the days where we lived in farms and like, make our own milk from cows. But I'm just saying that we in this time, out of all people, should find that balance, because it would be really hard if we just let ourselves get loose. Because I can't imagine, like, I mean, we're not even in our like 50s or halfway through our life, so I can't imagine the negative side effects that would come out like once people our generation get old. Like
Mm-hmm.
what would happen to us physically, like, sometimes like, bro, I've seen kids, like proper kids that are like 10, 9 years old, that already have a hunchback because they're always like staring at the screen, or already wearing glasses because of how much they look at the screen. Like I cannot imagine, you know,
Yeah.
what would happen to us in the future. So it's very essential to find balance in that time. And I think the best way to find balance is to, like, for me, I think it's really to have human touch,
Mm-hmm.
to be surrounded by people a lot, and by people that are actually people. And we're not talking about things online, and we're not talking about these things, but we're
Yeah.
having like proper conversations, things that get me out of this little bubble that is my phone. And like, I love talking to you because when I talk to you, I'm not on my phone. I'm not looking at things. I'm not scrolling. Like, okay, maybe sometimes like khalas, like social battery is dead, and I understand we're comfortable with each other and we
Yeah.
can be on our phones, but not when I hang out with you. I'm like, oh my God, did you see what she posted? And we're like sitting there like talking bad about a person or something like that. I think that's really good, surrounding yourself with those types of people, because that could bring you back to real life. Um, I also think it's good to have these resources, but just use it in a way where it benefits you.
Yeah. the internet could be a very like helpful place for for humans,
Yeah.
and it could also be helpful for like child like development and all of that stuff, but it always should be controlled.
Yeah.
Because once خلاص you let your child to just do whatever they want on the internet, trust me, it's gonna harm them more than help them,
Yeah.
and it might even lower or slow down their development
Hmm.
than actually increasing it.
Yeah.
So using the internet is helpful, but again, very in a very very controlled manner. Um,
Even for ourselves.
even for ourselves, yeah,
Yeah.
because like I guess from like everything you just said, it does social media does kind of give you a lot of anxiety because
Yeah.
it kind of shows you everything that's happening that's not in your world right now, and it makes your brain think about so many little stuff,
Yeah.
and that's when your brain starts getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So then, because you're kind of looking at so many little stuff on your phone, your brain is programmed to, in real life, to also look at so many little things.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not only focused on one thing, no, you're also focused on this thing and that thing and this thing because you kind of programmed your brain to do that when you're online. Then
Mm.
now it's also doing it when you're offline.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe because online it's more entertainment, so your brain thinks, and oh, like this is fine, but offline, the real world, it's not always entertaining.
Yeah.
So
You
when
get
all of
bored.
you get, not even that, but because of all of these little information, rather than it being entertaining, it's overwhelming.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
You
Yeah.
get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I think people then go back to going online, like how you said, when you get a text,
Yeah.
you go back to online because that's where the entertainment is, even if it's like so many little pieces again,
Yeah.
but that has a label of entertainment on it. But
Yeah.
in real life, the so many little pieces has the label of overwhelming.
Yeah.
So people always seek out the internet to kind of forget about the overwhelming feeling
Yeah.
that they kind of program their brains to have.
And once you're like when you're trying to also forget about it, you're adding more
Yeah.
overwhelmingness
Yeah.
to yourself. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's a really bad cycle that you need to just snap out of.
Yeah.
And again, it's easier said than done, but I think like just surround yourself with people that are people.
Yeah.
Um and put habits in your life that kind of disconnect you, like even simple things as like crocheting, bro, like that could connect you with yourself, that could connect you with your mind,
Yeah.
or going to the gym or things like that. It's like a muscle mind connection as well. Or cooking, baking, just something that kind of makes you feel like, okay, I forgot that I also actually do have a life outside of this little device. Like this device is so itty bitty. It's actually so crazy how tiny this is and how much it consumes us and how much
Yeah.
control it has. And it's kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, it's really, really disgusting. So like also when you're watching on different things and different outlets, try to find people that get you out of that, snap you out of it, put you back into reality, talk about things that aren't necessarily to do with like the hot goss of like this influencer or this media girl or media guy or whatever. So yeah, I think that's just the best way. And pray and read Quran. It all depends on, your religious faith and where you are with that as well. But like do that because I think that
It
would help.
helps, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you said that before. You said the fact that reading
Oh yeah.
actually, like reading a physical book calms you down.
Yeah.
Like that fact
Like
that like your
your eye
eyes, yeah,
muscles. Yeah.
moving left and right, it triggers you to have like to feel calm.
Yeah.
So
So again, reading it with Quran,
yeah, so extra points.
extra points.
Yeah.
Good for you, good for your akhirah. Anyway, that's
Anyways,
it.
yeah.
Namaste. I don't know why I did that. Okay. We'll see you guys next week with another
Yeah.
episode.
I hope you all are happy, healthy, and safe.
And I shall always see you next Thursday.
Bye
Bye.
bye.